family, is there anyone in your family who maybe you looked up to as a role model or a hero?
Probably my mom, you know, because I seen her struggle. You know, I seen her where she was really like making minimal income, you know, to support me. You know, and just kind of see her go from not knowing English to, you know, to where she moved up to Arkansas to where she made it, you know, a decent living to, you know, provide for me. You know, that's her only son. So, but she's probably my biggest role model. Just kind of the perseverance that she went through, and you know, not having any excuses to not, you know, make it work. You know, so but yeah, she's definitely a big role model for me.
Other than my mom, you know, she was the strongest person that I'd ever seen before. I know that we didn't have a lot, but she never let us know that. You know, we were always taken care of, and we never, you know, really went without. Of course, there were sometimes, you know, the lights were cut off or anything, but she always made sure that we were provided for, and we never really saw the struggle. But growing up, or being an adult now, I know that, you know, she sacrificed a lot for us, and she was, you know, a wonderful mom. So that's definitely my hero.
I would just say the women of my family, you know, like my sisters, my big cousin, my mom, you know, just having that type of dad in my life. I was always looking for, you know, for a man, but it was always the women in my family that kind of kept me grounded and teach me how to, you know, do people right, be a good man, treat women right and stuff like that.
I think I take my parents for granted when I was little. So my parents didn't know English, and I was like, oh my gosh, why don't they know English? Why don't they try to, you know, figure it out? And so I literally helped my parents ever since I was little. So now I appreciate them a lot more, but I wouldn't say I grew up and looked at them as a role model, but because they were always working in order for us to, you know, make it or, you know, survive. So my parents literally, since I was 5, I'd be home alone with my brother. So it was like, okay, whatever, you know, that was just life. But so yeah, but now I definitely appreciate them more of what they've done.
So my dad was, man, my whole life, I never passed the opportunity to praise him for what he was. Like I never even heard him cuss. Like he was such a man of integrity and such a man of God. He was a preacher up until I was 13. He founded the church when I was 13. He passed away when I was 28. So all I ever seen was this loving father, this amazing husband, like, and my mom is a handful, like, and he would just love her, like, oh my gosh, I remember it, sitting in the back seat, like, and my mom was kind of like me, we can just talk, and oh my gosh, and she would just talk, and he would just, oh my God, according to what I would see, I'm sure behind closed doors he may let a little bit, but as far as what he showed us and what he exemplified for me was just this awesome, like, sacrificing husband and father. And that's what I knew. That's what I grew up knowing, like kind of what she was saying. Like that's all I knew is this godly man, like teach me what to be and what not to be. And that was, and my mom, they were pastor and first lady, and they were great parents, excellent parents.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know I was gonna be married. I know a lot of little girls and even young women, they had this dream of this huge wedding and having kids and stuff like that. I was not that girl. I'm like, I'm about to travel and be myself, you know. I didn't think of any of that, and I ended up meeting him in college. And of course he was like, you don't marry me, and I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
That's so awkward feet, you know. It's just, you know, it's just nothing.
But I never stopped to think, you know, that marriage sometimes means family, having children, and things like that. And when those things started happening, I didn't really know what to do with that, but it gave me room to be creative and to define what I thought it meant to be a wife, and what I thought it meant to be a mother, and what I thought it meant to be what I thought family should look like. It gave me opportunity to redefine that.
For the longest, we thought we weren't even gonna have a baby, because I mean we tried for a very long time. Yeah.
2.5 years.
And you know, I'm like, what's going on? I'm not old. What's going on? I mean, we had to see 2 fertility specialists. So I mean, there's a lot of things. So for her to be here is such a blessing. So we look at her as a blessing, in a positive disruption. Because she definitely disrupts our life, but in a good way.
Of course, stepping into an element where, you know, where there's already children, you have to get to know them, they have to get to know you, and honestly, we've kind of just, we tried to show them love, you know, to express love, for love to be the center foundation of our family. So it was different and it was difficult a little bit, but I don't know, but the past 2 years have smooth itself out pretty much, you know, like, well, with our examples and Calvin teaching them, you know, the principles of Christ, you know, it's helped a lot, and we've seen a lot of changes in you know, in the children, and our relationship, you know, has blossomed a lot in the past 2 years, so it's been a smooth transition, I would say.
It's a lot of fun, you know, it's a lot of growth, it's less sleep. Everything we've done has kind of evolved around the children. We've done the best we can as far as going on dates and remembering one another, trying to dress up, you know, try to get dressed up nice and get out. And I know that when my family came to town, they kept the kids, my mom and my aunt, they kept the kids for us, and we went to the Cheesecake Factory, and we were sitting down and we were talking about the kids, and finally she said, hey, let's talk about, let's challenge ourselves, and let's not have anything to do with, not say anything about the kids. And that was really hard for me. That was really hard for me.
Sex after a baby is different. It's, you don't have the freedom to just, you know, be in your love layer anymore. You just kind of, you know, try to make that time and be creative.
I mean, date nights are a lot harder to do. I mean, being able to have a long time is hard to do. But there are good things. Like, I think our focus has like changed because she's here.
It's kind of been a shift.
Yeah. And so it's like she brings so much joy to us. She brings so much joy to us that, I mean, the things that we can't do because she's here is like, I don't know, it's part of it, but it's like so much minimal to the blessing of even having her.
I think time and just being able to be free like we were, you know, it was always, oh, let's just go, let's do this, you know. Now we gotta think about baby girl, you know. But I love my daughter so much, like I had to understand and realize, like when I would come home from work in the mornings or anything and they would be up, I would go to my daughter first. Hey baby, you know, hug her, kiss her, you know, play with her, blah, blah, blah. Then I'll go to her. You know, it was just that excitement of being a new dad. But then I had to realize, and I told her, like, dang, babe, I'm sorry. You know, not come to her first. You know, I'm going to start coming to you first and then going to her. You know, so I think it was just that love you have for your kid. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I ain't saying it was overshadowing the love I had for her, but it was just, that was a change for me. You know, like, dang, I got this little life with us now that I care so much for, so I gotta know how to shift it and, you know, bring it back to her first, and then give my baby the love, you know. So
honestly, it's been a beautiful transition. Like, even in the family dynamic, first, it's the boys are so much more. They're so much more involved. You know, they want to be around a lot more. They're a lot, you know, more helpful. They always just want to be around. You know, and it was like that before, but Kara's kind of just pulled all of us a lot closer together. And even in marriage, you know, it's been the same. They're very helpful. You know, sometimes it's a lot of women, you know, complain about like not, you know, having the help or, you know, just being a new mom and it's so hard. And I honestly can say that I really haven't, you know, felt that. Of course, there's a lot of sleepless nights and he's knocked out, but you know, for the most part, like they're really helpful, you know, very helpful. He doesn't, you know, we pull in the garage, the boys are running out to get her from the car. It's been pretty nice, pretty smooth, and my words was beautiful. It really has been.
I definitely think that, you know, it's having a daughter or just having a child in general, just it opens your eyes to see who is good for you in your life, and it helps you to figure out what are the real distractions that are out there. For me, having a daughter was a wake up call. Hey, you need to go ahead and get rid of that game system. You need to go ahead and
because a lot of men still have
that. Hey, look, I know I just heard a whole bunch of people hearts are like, man, turn that camera on. Yeah, helps you to find out, to really see what needs to be sacrificed and what needs to be, kept so that your family can stay strong. Having a daughter made me get in my word more too. We believe in warfare and having a covering over our child too. So
I tried to really like I seen the pros and the cons as we were trying to make this family work, and I was like, it's up to me to set this tone between the boys and Penny, and they've never met like any other woman besides their mom and then Penny. So I'm like, okay, they're older in age, like it's gonna be hard for them to say, okay, stepmom or mom, when their mom is, she's great, So I'm like, okay, how do I make this work? And creating a family environment, we always would play games, we got pizza nights, and they got to like know her like that and say, oh, she's great, and love her, and build their own relationships with her. I kind of like asked her to kind of take some of the roles with Cam, because Cam has special needs, so like even though he's older, helping out with him in the mornings and some things, so she can create her own relationship with him, which Cam is just the best kid in the world, so they just glued together like it was nothing. And KJ being so much older in teenage age, he's just like, okay, whatever. Like, and they've built this crazy relationship now. And I used to tell her like, all right, God. I'm talking to God, and it's like, when Karis get here, she's gonna be what, because it's hard for him to say at 15, 16, stepmom, like out the blue. So I'm like, when she gets here, it's gonna be easier for him to see, oh, that's my sister's mom, and that's like mom, that's stepmom, and that's exactly what happened. The minute she came, and we all wanted the girls. We used to pray a lot for a girl together because they all wanted the girl. They're like, if it's a boy, nobody wanted a boy. So the fact that it was actually a girl, we all just hugged. Like it brought our family like so much closer. And we all come and just sit around her. Like we'd come up from work, they'd come down from next room, and we just sit around her and love on her and just take turns loving on her. And it's been, God has used her to just really just put the icing on our family and on the cake and make us just really glued us together. I think now KJ feels like we're related in a way, which before he was like, oh, that's Dad's wife. Now he's like, that's my stepmom. Like that's like, now she's like official. That's my sister's mom. So for Cam, it was whatever. But for the older one, I think that helped. It just changed the dynamic of our family so positively.
But once the kids are grown and gone, you gotta have something to sustain you. It's so many couples who are AARP members and above who literally get a divorce and devastate their 20 and 30-year-olds.
Empty nesters.
Empty nesters. You would think that now they're retired, they don't have any children at home, they got the boat, they got the money, they can vacate anytime they want to, but they don't. They spend that money getting a divorce because they don't know each other anymore. They quit learning each other. And I told her the best thing you can do is keep learning each other, because who you are at 19 is not going to be who you are at 31. Who you are at 31 is not going to be who you are at 51. You got so many things that happen to who you are and to your body during that time. And if you don't keep up with the other person, who they're becoming, you're not going to have anything left. And so, as far as kids, they change the entire dynamic of your relationship, where they magnify your weaknesses. Whatever those weaknesses were, they are blatant, they are out in the open, they are hanging for all to see. And you got to figure out how to deal with those things if you're going to continue to grow in a relationship and with yourself.
This is a good thing. Yeah.
That's just, kids are great, but at the end of the day, they are going to have challenges, they're going to have successes, they're even going to accept God at their own twists and turns. We're only the stewards. So if we invest all of our time in them and that's all we become as parents, then kiss marriage goodbye.